Do want to take you out to some of the other big stories that we are following at this hour because the latest out of the Middle East. Take a look. The Israeli military has released photos showing what it describes as a long-range missile located inside of a home in Lebanon. The images published as Israel is being heavily criticized for wide-ranging strikes in Lebanon appearing to target homes. Now, the Israel Defense Force is saying that it carried out strikes on an estimated 1,600 Hezbollah targets Monday, most aimed at homes where weapons are stored. The Lebanese Health Ministry reporting an estimated 500 people are confirmed dead, the deadliest operation since the Israel-Hezbollah war nearly 2 decades ago in 2006. More than 1,600 people also believed to be injured. Now, the IDF adding this is an attempt to destroy 20 years of military infrastructure built by the Hezbollah terror group. Just a week ago, dozens were killed in Lebanon and Syria in attacks over the span of 2 days as pagers and walkie-talkies belonging to the Hezbollah terror group suddenly exploded. While Israel has not claimed responsibility for the attacks, Hezbollah's leader, Hassan Nasrallah, says it was Israel's, quote, declaration of war. A lot to discuss here, so I do want to bring in a friend of the show, Miri Eisin, a senior fellow now at the International Institute for Counter-Terrorism and a retired colonel with the Israel Defense Forces. Thank you so much for taking the time, as always, to be here with us and break down the latest.
Always happy to be here.
All right, so first off, I do want to talk to you about the situation with the pagers and other electronics that did see those explosions just last week. Now, we do know that it's kind of unclear how exactly Hezbollah is communicating amongst themselves at this point. But do we have any idea how much of Hezbollah has been eliminated and how much actually remains at this point?
I'm going to talk about what I'm going to call the 3 C's, and I'm inventing that as we talk. We talk about the C of command, the C of control, and I want to add in what Israel did is the C of chaos. And that means that because we hit the communications and control, it's hard for me to answer that question. They themselves probably don't know. What we can understand at this stage is that literally thousands of operatives were injured and also killed. Hezbollah itself has put out over 50 names of the ones that they officially have said have been killed, but they've also put out hundreds of names of injured, and that's at different levels of injury. So that this is a serious impact on what I'm going to call mid-level command control, the people who had pagers, who had walkie-talkies. Those were the ones that were targeted, but what it mainly does is chaos. Nobody knows who to talk to, how to talk to them, because if you can't use the walkie-talkie, you can't use the pager or receive in the pager, what do you use? Hassan Nasrallah himself said in a very famous speech, which is already almost 10 months ago, stop using cell phones because cell phones can be tracked. So I don't know what they're using today to be able to talk to each other.
As far as the photos that we've seen released by the IDF, you're looking at those on the left-hand side of your screen there, and that is clearly a missile inside of a home there in Lebanon. Is that a common sight from what we know so far? Because it sounds as though Israel is saying that they are targeting these homes because that is where the missiles are located. Miri, can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. I lost you for a moment. Am I back?
You are back. All right, so looking off to the left-hand side of your screen there, we can see the missiles that are there, and that is clearly a missile inside of someone's home over in Lebanon, according to the IDF. Is that a common sight there to see missiles and things of that nature actually hidden within homes?
If you had come to Israel until October 7th, I was taking enormous amount of journalists, different decision makers, influencers to the Israeli-Lebanese border, pointing at the buildings and saying, in that building are missile arsenals. In that building are missile launchers. This is an enormous amount of information that has been gathered over the years. What's unique in the picture that you're showing there is that this is a Hezbollah photograph from inside that Israel downloaded. That's the different type of warfare where you can get the pictures from inside their own facility. And these are very important for us to be able to show to the world. They have built these structures. They've put them inside. They put them in houses, in mosques, in schools, in hospitals. And here's a picture of one from inside.
Do we know how the people of Lebanon really feel about Hezbollah as a whole? Because Hezbollah is associated with Lebanon, but how do the people feel? Do they support the terror group overall?
Lebanon is a complex country. It has a lot of different minority religious and ethnic groups that make up together a very unique composition in the Middle East in general. Hezbollah, the Shiites of Lebanon, are Lebanese. They live in different areas within Lebanon. They're Lebanese citizens. They're born in Lebanon. They speak Arabic. But Hezbollah as a terrorist entity and also as a social structure, because it's both, it's a hybrid terror organization. Hezbollah is affiliated with the success of the Islamic Revolution in Iran. That's the Islamic regime in Iran. So on the one hand, they are Arabic-speaking Lebanese Shiites. On the other hand, their ideology is to try to do what the Iranian Shiites did, Persian speaking, in Iran, to do that in Lebanon. So they have a very complex relationship with the Lebanese. They have what is the largest I call it a standing terror army in the world because it is larger than most standing armies in the world. They have an enormous arsenal of weaponry. They have tens of thousands of terror fighters that are mainly trained in the Islamic regime of Iran. So the Lebanese are not going to talk out against them. This is an armed terror army.
Is there a possibility that we could actually see Hezbollah fire those rockets deeper into Israel than just northern Israel? We know folks have evacuated from their homes in that area, but could rockets actually strike places like Haifa, Jerusalem, Tel Aviv?
As we speak, they have already been fired towards Haifa and even a bit further south. Those are all areas that were attacked a lot by Hezbollah once upon a time in the 2006 Second Lebanon War. Hezbollah has 150,000 rockets. What Israel has attacked over the last 2 days, as Israel put it, are 2,000 targets. That doesn't mean only 2,000 rockets. I'll hope that we manage to get 30,000 rockets. That means they still have another 120,000. We're talking about enormous numbers, including long range, both land to land, different types of rockets, of guided missiles, guided munitions, all of these, again, supplied by the Islamic regime of Iran. I'm sitting right now in Tel Aviv, and I too am awaiting that siren at the stage that Hezbollah will try to fire into our area.
All right. Miri Eisin, as always, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here and break down the latest. Anything else you want to add about any of this before I let you go?
Hezbollah did not, we're not attacking Hezbollah. Hezbollah attacked Israel from October 8th. Always remember that. We are attacking a terror organization that calls for the annihilation of the state of Israel.
All right. Miri Eisin, thank you again for being here with us today. We appreciate it.
Have a good day.
You too.